Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm sorry sir, I disturb your time. I would like to interview about my problem in teaching learning English. Yeah. Okay. My question is.
Before the interview, I would like to know where do you teach?
Okay. Sorry sir. Okay. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Fatmawati Sharif. I teach in SMK 5 Makassar.
Makassar.
Yeah. Okay. What is the factors of the students have a low motivation in learning, especially in learning English?
Or learning English. Okay. Actually, I am as well a teacher, but not in the school, but in the university.
Yeah.
And also, I teach in a course, English course, because we have English course, namely Kampung English Pangkep, and this is the biggest course in Pangkep. So I have to I have two problem. The first one in the university and also in the course. I think the course same in your school.
Yes.
Because almost students here come from the school. From the junior, elementary junior until senior high school. Okay, I just talking about the student here because in university I think different between university and student. The first one is talking about
motivation.
Yes, low motivation. It is because the student didn't understand the importance of English.
Oh yeah, the student didn't understand
the importance of English. Okay. Nowadays, there are some application. Okay. For example, when the student play game, they don't understand the meaning. Just use it the application.
Yes.
The application. So the student, why I would like to learn English? If I don't understand, just use the application. Okay, this is the first one. Right now, this is different problem between our era and the student era. And the second one, some of students know English is international language. Okay, English is international language. But the problem is they don't know where to learn, where to learn English. Okay. Where and when to learn English. And also, some location we don't find the institution to teach English except in the school, because in the school how many hours do you learn English? How many hours do you teach English in the school?
Just 3 hours.
3 hours in 1 week.
Yes.
Okay. The students study English 3 hours in your school, and back home what they speak Indonesia or Bugis or Makassar.
No. Based on mother's tongue.
Mother's tongue.
Yeah.
So you teach English 3 hours in the school. That means 3 hours, 3 multiple 45 minutes, right?
Yeah.
You kali yang 45, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you just study 3 hours in the school, and then back home.
There's no
application. There's no practice.
There is no practice.
So how can to speak English? So the best way to speak English, or the motivation to speak English right now, the student ability to learn English. For example, some student playing, for example, online game, and then play with the native speaker, and then use English, and you say that is fine to speak English.
But the students doesn't do about it.
Yeah, this is very little.
Yeah. After going to school, after come back from the school,
yes, of course.
They just have stay in their house.
Yes, of course. This is the factor for the student learn to motivation learning English.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay, the next what things can affect the students' motivation in learning?
Oh, the effect,
Yeah.
motivation
Yes.
in learning. Okay, how to, I understand you from your question, how to improve the motivation?
Motivation.
Motivation.
Higher.
Higher motivation, okay. I am, my basic is from the Islamic, from Islamic major, but I teach more than 15 years in the university and also in my course. And also when I the magister student, I teach as well in Malaysia. Yeah, motivation. How to student to improve the motivation? The first one, in Al-Quran said, وَجَعَلَ لَكُمُ السَّمْعَ وَالْأَبْصَارَ. Allah teach the human being from the listening, and the second one is seeing or watching. Jadi wajalakumus sam'a, as-sam'a, you hear, mendengar, and then the second one is al-absar, watching.
By sight.
Watching, right?
Watching.
Okay, that's why in the golden era of Islamic era, for example, in Bani Umayyah, in Bani Abbasiyah, there are many scholars. For example, scholar. For example, Al-Ghazali, Imam Shafi'i, Imam Hanifah, how to become scholar? Because they practice from the God system. They study from the listening, and the second one is watching. Okay, from the listening, how to watch? Listen for the student, listen for the teacher. For example, we call it in the school metode ceramah, right? Metode ceramah. The teacher speak and the student listen. Okay. Okay. After listen, and then practicing, right? And I wanna ask you in your school, how many hours the teacher speak, and how many hours you have 3 hours, right?
Yes.
How many hours do you speak to the student, and how many hours the student speak to you?
Actually,
how many minutes? Sometimes.
Not hours. Sometimes.
Which more speech in the school? The teacher or the student?
The teacher.
Teacher.
Actually, if the teacher say English in the classroom, and sometimes the students say, "Don't use English, ma'am. I don't understand what you mean." So it make me to say Indonesia.
Yeah, this is the problem.
This is the habit, maybe. Yeah, custom.
I give you one example. I stay in Malaysia about 3 years in Malaysia, and also I stay in Egypt, Mesir, Cairo, Mesir, 4 hours and a half. Okay, there are many people. We call it labor. You know labor? Takeaway.
Yes.
Takeaway. Even they don't graduate from the elementary school. They don't graduate from the junior school and senior high school.
Like that.
They didn't study formally.
They are not study.
Yes, but when go to the Egypt, they can speak Arabic. How can they speak Arabic? Because they listen, no Indonesia except Arabic.
It's habitual.
Nah, this is the problem in the school. When the teacher speak English, the student, I don't understand, what do you mean?
Yeah,
just
move.
Just move, practicing, and just don't
don't
speak Indonesia, even just practicing and practicing.
Even when you make mistake.
Yes, then the student will understand what you say.
Yeah.
Because there are no language, there are no speaking without English. I beg again from the God methodology. Wajalakum sam'a wal absar. Listen and practice. And the second level is al-absar. Al-absar is watching. Watching. Now, I want to ask you, the student right now. The student right now.
Yes.
How many hours they use it mobile phone? Your doctor, how many hours?
Time, maybe.
Every time, right?
Every time.
Every
Because
time.
it's a moment from.
Okay, I want to ask you, when they watch, what they watch?
Game.
Content creator,
Yeah, content
game.
YouTube.
It's very attractive. Whether the student even 3 hour, 5 hour play game, but then boring.
They are-
Why?
they are
Because
not
it's
bored.
very attractive. So the people, when they uses the higher level, and then they don't know want to up down to the lower level. Kalau dia sudah naik, dia tidak mau turun lagi.
Yeah.
Why? Because they see the very attractive. When they go to the school, okay, memorize the vocabulary
It's
number
very
one.
bored.
Boring. Why was boring? Because
Yeah,
just
yeah.
memorizing.
Just one method we use.
One method we use.
Yeah.
And then our student era is not our era.
Yes.
Their era is
That's
digital.
right. Yes.
Okay.
So
Do you
we have
got
to
the
teach them.
the teach them as the content creator use.
What about if the teacher is not don't know about the creator?
You must. The teacher right now, you have to become content creator. If you don't become content creator, the student, they don't want to listen to you. Why?
This is the problem, I think.
Because the level right now become al-abasar.
Yeah.
And then you teach as-sam'ah. You understand?
Yes.
Okay, you teach the as-sam'ah. This is very traditional, and our student right now in
It's
the
very modern.
is very modern, and they teach. Okay, open page number 1. Okay, translate it.
Yeah.
It's boring.
It's boring. That's
Boring.
right.
You understand? You get
Yes,
me?
that's right. Yes.
Okay, this is
I
the
got
problem. So the teacher right now, you have to up your level to become the same level for your the student.
In this case, maybe the teacher have to use the contextual material
Betul.
based on his experiment.
Okay,
Their
exactly.
experiment.
Yes,
That's right.
exactly.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, the next question is,
Mandarin.
okay, what is the innovative learning like?
Oh,
What is
innovative
the
learning.
innovative learning like?
Innovative learning, I just mentioned before. For example,
Yeah.
the teacher have to improve the ability, especially in the technology.
Yeah.
In the technology, and the second one is this is knowledge.
This is
Knowledge. For example, how become the teacher or the teach if you don't understand
Yeah.
to speak
That's
English.
right.
Okay, you have to improve your speaking, improve your writing, and also improve your listening, and then teach the student. After you improve your skill, after you improve your knowledge, improve your skill. Your skill, how to teach very interactive inside the class. It's very boring. For example, okay, student, open page number 1, read. You read the paragraph 1, you read paragraph. It's very
Yeah,
boring.
it's
It's
kind of
so
classical.
different. Yeah, it's so different when you, for example, read and the student recall it. What do you read? Okay, it's very similar. You can find right now there are many content creator, English teacher,
Yes.
and
Very-
in TikTok there are many.
Yeah, there are many.
There are many what is it content creator what is it especially in learning English. Okay, and the student didn't boring. Okay, I just see in my account what the name, Manda? What the name, the content creator English teacher is very the teacher is higher motivation inside the class.
Oh.
Because why? This is the skill of the student. You can find some
Phony
phony. Yes. Phony Sawabi is very nice. A content creator in English.
Come to English.
No.
Oh, no.
This teacher, English teacher.
Oh.
But they show us make content creator when they teach inside the class. It's very happy. The student very happy.
Students very happy.
It's so different. You are kita kan pernah siswa kan?
Yes.
We can identify this is the teacher is not qualified.
Yeah.
But we don't. Kita takut durhaka mengatakan kamu tidak kualifikasi.
Yeah.
We can judge the teacher, but we have akhlak.
Yeah.
So
Because
you have to
have
improve. After you improve your knowledge, improve your skills. And the last one, improve your technology.
technology.
Teknologi.
Teknik.
Teknologinya. Jadi harus kuasai teknologi. Right now the teacher have to know how to editing video using
my God.
KineMaster,
I don't
CapCut.
know. Actually, I don't know.
You have to.
I just wanna still learning about it.
I have to. I am as well lecturer in the university. I am content creator.
Oh,
All my material I use inside my YouTube. Inside my YouTube, and then when I go to the university, just okay, we discuss right now because I send the link before I go to the class. Jadi beda guru datang ceramah panjang sekali sampai di kelas. Okay, I think this all. When the student to practice.
So the problem is from
the teacher.
maybe.
Don't blame the student,
Yes.
but blame the system. One of the system is the teacher.
Yes.
Okay, we have to up our ability because our era is so different from the teacher
Students'
era.
era.
Our era is just book.
Yeah.
Just book. You come to me, you bring your question from the book.
From the book.
But look at the student right now. Go to the interview. Don't bring the book. Just bring the tablet.
Yeah.
Our era is so different. Okay, next question.
Thank you, sir, for your information. Okay, next. Oh yeah, like this. Why the students' interest in reading is considered lacking?
Reading.
Yeah, in
Okay.
reading. In reading the text maybe.
Yeah, actually Indonesia right now become the lower, not from the student, but from all the people in Indonesia, we compare to other nation, is the lower for reading some book. Ya, yang paling rendah minat bacanya, and the highest is Singapore.
Novel.
Singapore and Japan and also Finland. Finland is the best education right now. Why? Because this is from the system in our school. Okay, look at, for example, in our school, how many hours the students stay in the school? How many hours? From what time?
Maybe 8
hours.
8 hours.
An hour daily.
Yeah.
And then they study how many days in a week? Until Saturday?
Yes, until Saturday.
So
until
Friday. Okay, so
Friday.
we have five days in the school, right?
Yeah, 5 days.
5
a week.
multiple 8, 40, right? So they stay in the school 40 hours a week.
Yeah,
40 jam
48.
di. Okay, 40
Yes.
hours. We compare, for example, in Finland. Finland, in one day, just only 4 hours in the school. 4 hours.
So 4 hours.
4 hours
again?
only stay in the school studying, and also just only until Friday. Just only until Friday. So why they become the highest level in education? Because the system. Because why? It is because the system. And the teacher just give to the student what do you want to read. What do you want to read? Because
based on the teacher,
based on the student.
Yeah,
The problem right now in the Indonesia, we want to make student in one one hobby.
One hobby.
For example,
Hobby.
look at in your school. We call it the smart student when they know about math, physics,
Yeah.
and also biology.
Yeah, biology.
Yang dianggap pintar itu yang pintar matematika, fisika.
Yeah.
Terus
English.
yang tidak tahu ini dianggap bodoh.
Yeah.
This is stigma because every student smart. Every student smart. You have ability in English, but maybe you don't ability in Islamic education. Okay, I ability in Islamic education, and I don't understand the maths.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not PNS because why? I really fine in the math. Ya, saya selalu gugur di matematika. But bukan berarti saya.
But we have another.
So in Finland, just give the student what do you ability, what do you hobby. When the teacher know, or this student is ability, for example, in playing game, playing game, and then give motivation to improve their skill to playing gaming, to coding, membuat program game. Jadi bukan cuma game, how to use the coding, how to use the startup.
Yes.
Okay.
Like
Nowadays, the richest people is not the mathematics or is not the biological. Jadi yang terkaya sekarang bukan ahli matematika.
Yeah.
But the richest people right now come from the programmers.
Yeah.
Programmers, orang programmer. You know the Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Bill Gates, Microsoft. This is a program. But this is their own. Drop out from the university. Mark Zuckerberg is drop out from the university.
Yeah.
Dia
Yes,
dikeluarkan
right.
university, but become the
Yeah,
richest
that's what
people.
I do.
Become Facebook and become Meta right now.
Yes.
So this is the problem in Indonesia because you want to make the student know about math.
Yeah.
They want the student become one hobby,
Yes.
and the student there are many different interests and different hobby.
Yeah, maybe this is the problem in Indonesia because system in Indonesia have to from the K13, for example, the teacher have to teach in the classroom by using the HOTS material.
HOTS material, I know.
And
higher order
higher order thinking skills.
Yeah.
And then the capability of the student is very low.
Very low. How to become critical thinking when our system from the kindergarten, from TK, what do you learn in the TK? Apa yang belajar di TK? Hanya menyanyi saja.
But just now it's not like that. Seperti itu.
Okay, now there are many changing from our ministry because our ministry now anak muda Mas Menteri. But before our era, what do we do in the kindergarten? Just singing, and then clapping.
Yeah.
In the other country, kindergarten just every day I have an idea. Jadi setiap hari hanya saya memiliki ide. That's why the higher thinking.
Progress their ideas.
Yeah, they can speak. Right now, until university, some, for example, okay, please talking. What your idea? Some the university student
didn't want to speak.
They don't want to speak because why from our system we just listen.
Not speaking.
Not speaking, not practicing. Okay,
thank you, sir. It's very clear, I think. Maybe it's material and it's about HOTS. What things in learning method of HOTS is very hard to do in the classroom?
Okay, HOT, higher order thinking. I just answer it. The problem is from the student, and the second one, the student, because our habit from the kindergarten just listen, and the second one from the system, right? From the system. But right now, alhamdulillah, we know about the student-centered learning, student-centered learning. But in fact, I see in the school, student-centered learning, but this is a semi-centered learning because the teacher speak more. Okay, student-centered learning. The teacher just listen and then give it motivation to the student to explore the idea, and the student speak more and thinking more. Okay, so just improve your your methodology when you teaching, especially in English. Language. Some people say the language is not knowledge. Bahasa itu, English is not knowledge, just tool.
Oh, yes, it's tool.
Just tool, hanya alat.
Yes.
Jadi bahasa itu bukan ilmu, just tool. So, because this is not knowledge, just listen and practicing.
Listen and practice English.
How to you speak Bugis or Makassar?
Sometimes Bugis, sometimes Makassar.
So, I want to ask you, how you understand the Bugis and Makassar? Because you listen from your mother, right?
Yes.
From your people around you. From people around you, and then you practicing. This is the system of language. Yes, language is not knowledge.
But tools.
That just tool. If tool, just use it. Just use it. Kalau tool hanya alat, ya gunakan saja alatnya. Ya, beda kalau matematika harus. Ini kan itu kan knowledge. English just tool, just use it the tool.
Just use it. So how to how to integrate the method of HOTS in the classroom is by using English by tools.
Oh, by tools, yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
English by tools.
Yeah, okay, I know. You wanna some in the other hand, you wanna use the HOTS because right now the people said we have to higher thinking order, right? Thinking order skills. And the second one is our system from before still improving and improving. So I mean right now it's better you use it the student centered learning. Bagusnya kita pakai student centered learning, so you don't speak much in the school.
But I think it's the problem when the teachers say something or ask the student just silent.
It's never mind.
Silent.
Use it. Improve it and give motivation. Give motivation to speak. Even the combine Indonesian and English. Like I say, we are the lecturer and you are the English teacher. But some vocabulary we don't understand. Some we blame.
Yeah.
We blame because why? Maybe we understand the vocabulary, but
we don't have much vocabulary.
The much vocabulary, and also we don't practice. We don't practicing anymore. So sometimes we forgot. Sometimes in our head we want to speak English, but the mouth use it Indonesian. So in the school, if the student, for example, the lowest in the speaking, just combine between Indonesian and English. Because the communication you understand and I am.
Yes.
This language, and don't blame the student when they're wrong in the grammar. This is the problem. Some the teacher are you wrong.
Yes.
For example, like I am study in Makassar. Well, no, I am studying Makassar. I am studying. Because why? In our era, just the first one is grammatical, and the second one is speaking. This is wrong. The first one is
just communicate.
Speaking, and then when you want to write, study about grammar.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, for example, when you learn Indonesian, for example, Mama teach you, jangan dipegang panas, and then you said, baba, and your mom don't blame you, just say hot, panas. We call it,
the students understand
so the language is tool, and the second one communication. What is the what is tujuannya? Saya lupa lagi tujuannya. What is the purpose of the language? Communication. So don't blame the student if they're wrong in the
speaking English.
In the grammatical, for example. And then it's never mind combine between English and Indonesia. Combine the practicing and the practicing. The most important, the teacher don't talk too much. Okay, this is our method. The teacher don't talk too much, but the student must talk much. Jadi guru jangan terlalu banyak bicara,
but
justru siswanya yang main bicara.
So I got the information from you, sir, that let's write the students just speak up. Just speak up.
Never mind.
If they have a wrong,
it's okay. Combine Indonesia in. It's okay.
And the level of mastery in English is speaking. Just in writing, not in writing.
Grammatical when you want to write. Grammatical when you want to write. Now, if you speak fluently, is automatically your grammar is right.
Yes.
For example, what is your name? Just using what is your name, is wrong or correct? It's correct, right?
Yes.
We don't use name is singular. It's suitable for is no or are. We don't say what am your name. What are your name? What is your name? Because we practicing. So when you speak fluently, automatically your grammar is right. So the first thinking is the first method is speaking, and the second one is practicing, and the next, if you want to write, go to grammar.
So we have to master of all of them.
All of them, but in the student just focusing in the speaking.
The student just focusing in
the speaking.
Don't
focusing in your book.
Oh, don't focusing in
your book.
Our book.
The problem is teacher right now open page number 1, kerjakan exercise number sekian. Itu kan yang terjadi sekarang. Jadi harus jujur, harus jujur. Salah. Kita disibukkan. Jadi so forget it, English just tool and information.
Just tool
and how to get information. Jadi hanya tool dan untuk mendapatkan informasi. This is the language. Okay, this is I just talking about. We are discussing about the English major. Kita tadi mendiskusikan the English. Tentu berbeda kalau kayak matematika dan lain sebagainya.
Harus ditulis. Ditulis
berbeda. Tapi kan you are English teacher, right?
Yes. That's right. Okay. Thank you very much for your information, sir. I got many information from you, and I hope your information I can realize in our school. Thank you.
Good luck.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I'm sorry, sir, because I disturbed your time to invite you. To get interview about my duty in PPG, how to identify or how to explore the problem in our school, especially in the classroom.
That's the question.
No, it's not a question. Would you like to inform me about how to motivate the students in the classroom?
Okay, thanks. At the first time, before having learning process, I usually ask the students to pay attention to make an agreement about the regulation of the school and the regulation to study English. At the first, I give them the example about the people who are success because of mastering of English. And in the second, I ask them to remember the words about relation with their departments. For example, if they are building department or architecture department, I ask them to remember the words which have the relation with their department. The other example, in automotive department, I ask them to memorize the vocabularies about automotive. So, by remembering the words with the relation of their departments, they have motivation to study about. And we know that in curriculum, independence curriculum Merdeka, we ask the students to study English with the relation of their departments. Actually, we just give them based on their department about the material. I mean.
Okay, thank you, sir. If I don't forget, you say that if you want to get motivation to students, we have to inform to them that to remember to them to make a relation between his department and how to get a job. So the students have a high motivation in learning English.
Yes.
Is it right, sir?
Okay.
Yeah. And the second point I get from sir, that if we want to make a motivation to students, we have to inform that your study here just for want to get the knowledge, want to get the information about your skill. And if you don't have your skill about English, you can't get a job. Yeah, because this is vocational high school, not senior high school. If you have doing in vocational high school, automatically you have to have a skill to learn about your department.
Yeah.
Is it right, sir? Yes, thank you. Okay, the second, sir. Okay. It's about the motivation, sir. It's about the motivation. According to you, what is the factor? The students have a low motivation in study English, especially in study English.
The handicaps for the students to study English. At the first, they have very low motivation to study because they don't have a basic about the vocabulary, so they don't want to increase their vocabulary. And the second about the environment. Because of the students' environment not support them to increase their ability to study English. And the third is about the background of the students.
Background.
Yeah, the background of the students, because they want to continue to study in vocational high school, just to know about their department.
Yeah, just to know about the department.
Just to know about
Not to get something or.
Yeah, the other lesson I think is the second, the Sunnah obligation.
Oh yes. Okay. If I don't mistake, I got the info from sir that the factors to get the low motivation from the students is the first, they don't have a basic about learning English. They don't have a basic about English. The students don't have about basic learning English, so they don't understand, or they are bored to study English. And the second is about environment. Yeah, because sometimes the environment is not support to the students to get a job and to get knowledge based on their skill. Yeah. Next, the third is about the background of the students. Yeah, is right, sir?
Okay, that's right.
The third one. Okay, this is about the. According to you, sir, why the student is didn't interested in reading? Yeah, didn't interested in reading, especially reading text in English.
Oh yeah. We know that Indonesian people are lacking to read. So
Lacking to read.
are lacking to read. So the students also, because not only English but also Indonesian language,
Generally.
they have a little motivation to study reading. So how to motivate the students to read? Just give a short sentence and a short sentence, and after that to make it not all the material, but just a little,
Little by little.
a little.
Okay.
That's the way how to solve the problem.
So the students the students have to give a text
Yeah.
little by little, don't all of them. Not all of them.
And also, we choose the material that interesting for them. For example, about the history,
Oh yes.
or the story.
Oh, the story.
Yeah, maybe they know about they know about the translation in Indonesia,
Yeah.
and after that we ask them to
What
translate it in
is
English.
what is the information
Yeah.
in the text we get? We have to get it. That's right.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe the last one. The last one. Yeah. According to sir, according to you, we know that in our school, apa namanya? Sometimes we are a teacher. Yeah, we are a teacher. We can apa namanya? We can integrate how to teach the curriculum based on K13. I mean HOTS. Yeah, based on the curriculum HOTS. According to sir, which innovative, how to make atau how to teach innovative teaching in the classroom. Innovative teaching in the classroom as a teacher, as an English teacher.
About the HOTS, yeah.
Yeah, about
High
the HOTS.
order thinking.
Yeah, high order thinkings.
Yeah. That's a problem about the HOTS, because not hot but lots also. Lots of other
The
thinking.
students can
Yeah,
answer.
the students can understand. So
understand.
how to solve that problem? So maybe we give them the game.
Give them
Yeah,
the
we give
game.
them the game. And ask them how to answer a little by a little of the game.
Yeah.
And after that, they can arrange the games into a critical thinking, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I get your point, sir. So maybe the HOTS curriculum is very hard. It's very hard to apa namanya, to do in the classroom, because we know that our students in the classroom itu have a middle capability, yeah, especially in learning English. They don't have about a basic in English, so maybe the HOTS curriculum is very hard to do in the classroom. And the solution we have to do to get to overcome the problem is make a game.
Make the game. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a game is very interesting for the students. Yeah. Okay, thank you, sir. Masih ada ya? Okay, this maybe the last one, sir. The last one. Okay. What will we do? What will we do to get a success in teaching English, especially in English?
English.
Yeah.
At the first, we have to decide our aim, the purpose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aim, yeah.
Our aim or the purpose. What is the purpose of us to study English? Maybe for our students, the main point is how to make them can speak.
Yeah.
The first, because that is a reality fact in the field that speaking, although they don't have a master of grammar,
Yeah.
but if they can speak, we say that they can speak English.
Oh yeah.
So
It's general, yeah. It's
yeah,
generalism.
generally. So the aim, the first we have to determine what is the aim to study English.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The aim to study English is how to communicate using in English. I think it's
Okay. What is the aim to study English is how to communicate with the other.
the four skills. I
Okay.
think just the first, we have the priority. Maybe speaking and listening,
Listening,
and after
reading.
that reading and writing
Okay, so there are 4 skills we have
Yes,
to
to be master of
yeah,
that.
to be master of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Okay,
I think
you're
enough. I hope this speaking
Yeah.
I get benefit from it.
Okay.
Thank you,
You're
sir.
welcome. Yeah, thank you.
Demikianlah wawancara saya dengan teman sejawat saya, guru bahasa Inggris atas nama Mr. Arifin. Terima kasih. Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Hari ini saya akan melakukan wawancara dengan Bapak Kepala Ketua Kurikulum karena untuk kepala sekolahnya sedang sakit hari ini, jadi digantikan oleh Bapak Ketua Kurikulum atas nama Bapak Detrandes Rajamuddin. Oke, untuk itu hari ini ada beberapa pertanyaan atau ada beberapa identifikasi masalah yang telah saya buat berkaitan dengan proses pembelajaran di sekolah. Dan saya minta kesediaan Bapak untuk bisa berbagi informasi dengan kami, Pak. Oke, yang pertama itu menyangkut tentang metode pembelajaran HOTS. Menurut Bapak, kira-kira mengapa masih susah atau masih belum bisa diaplikasikan secara full metode pembelajaran yang HOTS di sekolah?
Ya, jadi pada prinsipnya sebenarnya secara teknis itu masih kebanyakan guru-guru yang belum menguasai seperti apa itu pola pembelajaran dengan metode HOTS untuk anak-anak. Jadi ini juga tantangan sebenarnya ke depan yang harusnya ini setiap MGNT itu harus proaktif untuk menangani masalah ini. Nah, itu.
Jadi kendalanya ada sama pada guru, Pak, ya? Masih belum paham.
Kendalanya sama guru,
Ya.
masih secara umum masih banyak guru
Yang belum paham
ya.
mengenai pembelajaran HOTS itu seperti apa, Pak, ya?
Ya.
Jadi memang mungkin masih dibutuhkan pelatihan-pelatihan.
Ya. Jadi MGNT itu harus proaktif, ya, punya kegiatan-kegiatan yang bisa berkontribusi untuk guru-guru yang disitu.
Oh, ya. Oke, Pak. Terima kasih. Jadi intinya adalah kelemahannya ada pada guru yang belum belum paham betul mengenai metode pembelajaran HOTS, dan solusinya adalah bahwa MGNP harus proaktif memberikan semacam pelatihan-pelatihan kepada guru-guru setiap mata pelajaran. Iya, Pak. Oke, yang kedua, Pak, terima kasih. Kira-kira menurut Bapak apa yang harus dilakukan oleh guru untuk mengoptimalkan proses belajar mengajar di sekolah secara umum saja, Pak?
Ya, sebenarnya itu kalau masalah optimalisasi pembelajaran itu tergantung dari guru sebenarnya. Bagaimana teknik mengelola kelas. Jadi mulai strategi pembelajaran yang diterapkan itu tergantung dari kita sebenarnya. Makanya guru itu harus pintar-pintar mengelola kelas, menguasai pola-pola pembelajaran. Dia harus tahu apa yang dibutuhkan siswa supaya proses pembelajaran di kelas itu bisa maksimal. Ada kebanyakan guru biasa masuk di kelas, siswa kadang-kadang belum siap menerima pelajaran, dia sudah memberikan materi. Nah, ini kondisi-kondisi seperti inilah yang perlu dipahami oleh guru, sehingga nanti pada saat kita mengajar itu siswa betul-betul sudah siap. Akhirnya kondisi pembelajaran bisa kondisi itu intinya sebenarnya.
Jadi bagaimana cara agar proses pembelajaran di sekolah itu berjalan dengan baik, itu ada pada guru ya. Bahwa seorang guru itu harus lebih pintar melihat situasi di kelas yang ada, terutama dengan melihat keadaan siswa yang ada di kelas.
Jadi di situ dia harus, dari situ dia tahu bahwa ini metode yang harus saya lakukan, strategi yang harus saya lakukan begini, teknis pengelolaan kelas seperti ini, supaya anak-anak bisa menerima dengan baik.
Baik Pak, terima kasih. Yang ketiga, seringkali kita temui terkadang keterlibatan antara guru dengan orang tua siswa itu kadang masih kurang. Contohnya misalnya ketika dilakukan pemanggilan terhadap orang tua, karena mungkin ada kasus yang dilakukan oleh siswa, namun terkadang ada beberapa orang tua yang masih cuek dengan alasan mungkin sibuk kerja, seperti itu. Jadi maksudnya Pak, menurut Bapak kira-kira hal-hal apa yang bisa lebih digali sehingga menyebabkan orang tua bersikap seperti itu terhadap anaknya?
Ya, jadi sebenarnya ini masalah juga sebenarnya, tapi segala sesuatunya itu berpulang kepada guru. Jadi kalau ada hal-hal tertentu, ada masalah-masalah yang dihadapi di kelas terkait dengan siswa, itu kita harus spontan, kita harus segera berkonsultasi dengan orang tua siswa. Kita memberikan pemahaman yang baik supaya masalah itu bisa dia pahami dan dia terima. Karena mungkin kadang-kadang ada orang tua yang tidak mau ke sekolah walaupun dengan alasan sibuk, tetapi karena kita sudah memberikan pemahaman terkait dengan masalah anaknya, itu sesibuk apapun dia pasti akan datang menghadiri pemanggilan itu demi kepentingan anaknya. Mungkin dia tidak mau datang karena mungkin dia menganggap bahwa ini persoalan sepele. Kalau kita sudah istilahnya memberikan pemahaman bahwa masalahnya seperti ini, masalah ini bisa berdampak terhadap masa depan anaknya, saya kira orang tua itu tidak akan bikin panjang lagi, pasti dia datang.
Jadi mungkin maksudnya Pak, guru itu harus memberikan pernyataan tegas kepada orang tua siswa bahwa pemanggilan dilakukan ini karena memang kesalahan yang dilakukan oleh itu sangat fatal dan berdampak sekali terhadap kenaikan kelasnya, seperti itu ya, supaya.
Jadi itu juga sebenarnya guru mapel itu harus menjalin komunikasi yang baik dengan wali kelas. Itu kontak komunikasi harus berjalan terus. Kapan ada masalah itu segera masalah itu disampaikan ke wali kelas supaya wali kelas ini tinggal lanjuti, karena yang paling dekat dengan orang tua itu wali kelas, yang paling dekat dengan siswa itu wali kelas.
Oke, yang terakhir mungkin Pak, sudah ada 4 minggu. Tadi masih berhubungan dengan pembelajaran HOTS. Pembelajaran HOTS di kelas yang memang kita dituntut untuk sebenarnya karena kurikulum kita dituntut untuk memperlakukan pembelajaran HOTS di kelas. Namun mungkin banyak kendala-kendala yang kita hadapi di sekolah, khususnya di dalam kelas, karena mungkin melihat dari kondisi atau situasi siswa itu sendiri. Maksud saya Pak, kira-kira untuk tadi Bapak katakan bahwa seorang guru itu harus menguasai pembelajaran yang berbasis HOTS. Sedangkan kekurangan kita di sini ada sebagian guru masih belum mampu menguasai sistem atau pembelajaran HOTS itu sendiri. Oke, maksudnya jadi kira-kira Pak, pembelajaran HOTS atau pembelajaran yang inovatif itu seperti apa Pak, sehingga guru itu bisa mampu mengintegrasikan pembelajaran HOTS di kelas?
Iya, jadi pada prinsipnya pembelajaran pembelajaran yang bermakna sebenarnya, pembelajaran yang hasil akhirnya itu bisa langsung berkontribusi positif terhadap masa depan anak-anak. Makanya guru-guru sebelum mengajar itu dia harus tahu apa kebutuhan siswa sebenarnya. Ini apa kebutuhan siswa, kemudian seperti apa kemampuan siswa untuk menghadapi kompetensi yang akan kita berikan. Karena kadang-kadang seorang guru mengajar, dia hanya istilahnya menuntaskan materi, jadi hanya ingin apa istilahnya menggugurkan kewajiban istilahnya ya. Jadi tuntutan materi itu saja yang diselesaikan, padahal dia tidak berpikir bahwa ini materi apa kontribusinya nanti setelah saya ajarkan. Ini sebenarnya harus kita pikirkan. Jadi kontribusi positif dari materi yang akan kita ajarkan itu sebenarnya yang menjadi tujuan akhir kita. Ya. Karena kadang-kadang anak-anak itu tidak maksimal mengikuti pelajaran karena dia tidak tahu apa ini materi, apa manfaatnya terhadap masa depan saya misalnya. Nah, itu yang kita pahami.
Mungkin jadi saya bisa tangkap Pak, mungkin maksudnya bahwa seorang guru itu harus melihat materi yang disajikan itu harus berdasarkan pengalaman atau harus berdasarkan situasi yang nyata atau secara kontekstual, sehingga siswa mampu memahami manfaat dari materi yang akan diajarkan. Oh iya Pak, terima kasih. Yang lain untuk guru ini Pak, guru dengan teman saya. Saya kira seperti cukup sekian Pak wawancaranya. Terima kasih atas segala informasi yang diberikan oleh Bapak. Semoga berguna untuk saya dan saya bisa menguasainya. Terima kasih banyak Pak Raja. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hari ini saya bersama dengan teman saya, seorang guru sejarah di SMK Negeri 5.
Selamat pagi.
Atas nama saudara Ibu Asmaul Husna MPD. Saya akan mewawancarai beliau berkaitan dengan analisis masalah yang telah saya identifikasi. Dalam hal ini adalah saya akan memenuhi tugas saya untuk menjawab soal di LK 1, 2 yaitu hasil eksplorasi penyebab masalah berdasarkan wawancara dari guru di sekolah. Menurut Ibu, kita kan ketahui bahwa kurikulum 2013 itu sangat dituntut untuk diadakan di sekolah kita. Sementara kita belum mampu mengintegrasikan atau mengoptimalkan pembelajaran yang berbasis HOTS itu sendiri. Kira-kira menurut Ibu itu kira-kira kendalanya seperti apa sehingga kita belum bisa melakukan kurikulum berbasis HOTS?
Pada dasarnya itu tergantung misalkan pada siswa itu sendiri. Karena terkadang kita membawa mereka pada dasarnya kan kita tahu HOTS itu kan high order thinking skill. Pada saat kita membawa siswa itu ke bentuk analisa, terkadang mereka tidak mampu, apalagi kita SMK, sekolah menengah kejuruan, itu memang pada dasarnya sumber daya anak yang dibawa oleh orang tuanya memang adalah untuk bekerja pada dasarnya. Jadi boleh dikata bahwa ekonomi mereka adalah tingkat menengah ke bawah, yang mana memang tidak dididik untuk menjadi pemikir, tetapi dididik untuk menjadi pekerja. Ya. Jadi itu untuk di SMK kendalanya seperti itu, sehingga banyak masalah-masalah dalam mengangkat analisa berpikir siswa itu rumit kita adakan di sekolah. Tetapi untuk siswa-siswa yang cerdas, tetap mereka mereka bahkan di atas rata-rata nilai mereka kalau bicara analisis. Misalkan kalau kita bawa ke dalam discovery learning, kontekstual, mereka bisa snowing throwing, mereka sangat suka itu dalam metode ini snowball throwing. Mereka paling suka itu karena pelemparan pertanyaan lewat bola. Jadi justru anak-anak cerdas bisa, tetapi yang menengah ke bawah itu yang sulit untuk ditingkatkan hotsnya. Ya.
Jadi mungkin kendalanya di sini itu karena kita kan beragam karakter.
Ya,
beragam karakter. Apalagi kita lebih banyak laki-laki yang notabene ingin mendapatkan pekerjaan di sekolah untuk mendapatkan sebuah pekerjaan gitu ya, sehingga mungkin sementara di pembelajaran HOTS mungkin secara umum kita berlakukan dan yang mempunyai kemampuan untuk menganalisa sesuatu, menganalisa informasi, itulah yang bisa mungkin mendapatkan sebuah kesuksesan gitu, atau bisa memikirkan sesuatu.
Sebenarnya sukses itu relatif. Kalau kita bicara kesuksesan itu relatif, karena ada Tuhan yang menentukan segala-galanya. Tetapi kalau kita lihat dari skill dan juga kognitifnya, yang selama ini kita menggunakan dari 2013 kita menggunakan K13, umumnya yang saya lihat adalah anak-anak yang memang mungkin di rumahnya dipinta oleh orang tuanya untuk melanjutkan ke tingkat perkuliahan. Tetapi anak-anak yang memang khusus langsung kerja, sulit memang kita inikan tingkat daripada kritikal mereka, sulit sekali analisa seperti itu mereka. Walaupun metode pelajaran itu sudah berganti, memang agak sulit.
Jadi menurut Ibu ketidakcocokan antara keinginan orang tua dengan keinginan siswa itu sendiri. Siswa mungkin inginnya lebih cepat bekerja, sementara orang tuanya menginginkan untuk kuliah gitu. Bagaimana itu?
Tidak sebenarnya. Iya, tidak begitu. Yang saya katakan tadi bahwa berangkat dari latar belakang keluarganya sebenarnya.
Latar belakang.
Jadi kalau anak-anak yang memang orang tuanya mampu, itu untuk HOTS mudah sekali ya. Walaupun kita pakai misalkan snowball throwing, ya, yaitu lemparan bola, pertanyaan analisa, gampang sekali mereka lakukan. Tetapi kalau snowball throwing itu kita lakukan kepada
yang di bawah,
siswa yang memang ekonomi menengah ke bawah, sulit. Kan Ibu Fatma mengalami demikian di ruangan kelasnya, saya juga mengalami hal yang demikian. Walaupun jadi sebenarnya memang agak sulit untuk sekolah kejuruan dalam penerapan HOTS sebenarnya.
Jadi salah satu faktornya itu mungkin karena ekonomi.
Iya. Latar belakang pendidikan orang tua sebenarnya pada dasarnya itu. Tetapi kan namanya kita pendidik, tetap kita harus berusaha mengubah mindset anak belajar kita supaya tetap mereka harus bisa mengaktifkan HOTS mereka masing-masing. Karena kan di dunia kerja nantinya kan mereka juga harus memiliki ide-ide. Jadi konsep ide itu memang sudah harus ada. Lewat mana? Lewat kita ini, lewat media pendidikan ini. Ya.
Oh iya, terima kasih. Ya. Kemudian yang kedua, ini mungkin secara umum Bu ya, di semua sekolah untuk menumbuhkan motivasi atau minat siswa dalam belajar itu sangat susah. Sangat susah. Jadi menurut Ibu kira-kira bagaimana atau kira-kira apa yang menyebabkan sehingga motivasi siswa itu rendah dalam pelajaran?
Satu ini masalah tanggung jawab. Terkadang tanggung jawab itu kan memang dibangun dari rumah.
Yeah.
Jadi responsibility siswa itu dibangun dari rumah. Jadi kalau misalkan orang tuanya tidak sampai di rumah tidak ditanya-tanya pelajaran apa, sampai di mana cakupan pembelajaran hari ini, maka siswa itu tidak akan tertarik karena mereka kan tidak ditanya oleh orang tuanya apa yang dipelajari ini dan sebagainya.
Oh, jadi berarti lebih kepada
tetap
kepedulian.
Tolok ukurnya sebenarnya pendidikan adalah orang tua
Kepedulian
siswa.
orang tua siswa,
Iya,
ya.
betul.
Kepedulian orang tua siswa terhadap pelajaran
Tugas-tugas
anak di sekolah,
tanggung
ya.
jawab anaknya.
Jadi jangan sekedar menitipkan anaknya ke sekolah lantas
Betul.
mereka tidak mempedulikan lagi apa yang
Betul
mereka
sekali.
pelajari selama di sekolah.
Karena kita kan sudah berbagai macam metode yang kita coba, tetapi pada dasarnya kan boleh kita alami pada saat penaikan kelas yang muncul banyak siswa yang tidak, ada 30% siswa dalam satu kelas yang tidak mengerjakan tugas. Setelah kita amati ternyata mereka memang berangkat dari latar belakang yang menengah ke bawah tadi yang saya katakan, yang mungkin karena kesibukan orang tuanya dalam mencari nafkah, sehingga untuk melihat tanggung jawab hasil kerja anaknya mereka tidak peduli. Jadi diserahkan total kepada kita, Bapak Ibu guru.
Iya, betul Ibu ya. Jadi salah satu penyebabnya itu adalah
Kepedulian.
adanya ketidakpedulian orang tua siswa terhadap anaknya dalam untuk perkembangan pelajaran siswa di sekolah. Ya. Saya tangkap Bu ya seperti itu. Yang kedua Bu, ini juga. Seringkali kita temui di kelas ini mungkin ada tugas seorang wali kelas juga Bu. Ya. Kita temui bahwa terjadi ya hubungan yang tidak harmonis antara guru dengan orang tua siswa. Maksud saya seperti ini Bu. Terkadang yang Ibu katakan tadi seperti terkadang ada orang tua siswa yang tidak peduli dengan anaknya sehingga ketika seorang guru itu menelpon orang tuanya untuk hadir di tempat karena mungkin siswa tersebut melakukan sebuah kesalahan, tapi terkadang pula ada orang tua yang belum mau mengiyakan untuk datang atau sekedar cuek untuk datang ke sekolah walaupun dia sudah diberikan ultimatum ini anak akan dampaknya seperti ini jika orang tuanya tidak datang, tapi mereka tetap tidak peduli. Kira-kira apa yang menyebabkan seperti itu?
Kalau mungkin kesibukannya, tetapi yang harus kita lihat adalah mungkin ada beberapa anasir yang bisa kita ambil. Misalkan yang pertama dikatakan kalau tidak datang pada hari H yang ditentukan, mungkin ada beberapa yang menjadi sanksi. Mungkin sanksinya ringan untuk tahap yang pertama, tetapi pada saat panggilan kedua orang tua kemudian tidak datang lagi, ini mungkin sanksinya lebih besar lagi, ataukah wali kelas yang bersangkutan mengunjungi orang tua tersebut. Jadi di situ mungkin ada interaksi antara wali kelas dengan wali kelas dengan orang tua siswa. Jadi mungkin wali kelas yang harus berkunjung
gitu ya. Kalau sudah berkali-kali diberikan imbauan belum juga datang, berarti kita sebagai
yang harus
guru atau wali kelas yang harus berkunjung ke rumahnya. Memang harus punya waktu yang
luang.
Ekstra ya.
Iya betul. Guru itu seperti itu memang. Karena yang kita harus tampilkan memang adalah kemampuan siswa yang harus kita kita gali.
Iya Bu. Oke, kemudian ini tadi pembelajaran yang inovatif itu seperti apa Ibu?
Nah, inovatif perubahannya misalkan kan biasa kita temukan ada siswa yang memang interaksinya kuat, ya interaktifnya terhadap materi itu kuat. Tapi ada juga siswa malas. Itu dari kita sendiri metode apa? Jadi misalkan metode pada saat ini mungkin kita gunakan snowball. Mungkin minggu depannya mungkin kita adakan per kelompok. Per kelompoknya pun ya diskusi kelompok. Diskusi kelompok juga kan berbagai macam cara di dalamnya. Jadi kalau kita lihat ada yang tidak interaktif lagi di dalam diskusi, ya kita rubah lagi. Kita yang merubah metode pembelajaran kita. Jadi di sini guru yang harus pandai membaca situasi. Ya. Tetapi walaupun sudah terjadi berbagai macam perubahan metode, saya ini sedang mengadakan PTK itu dalam penggunaan snowball throwing pada saat ini. Dan ternyata snowball throwing itu membangkitkan semangat mereka. Jadi bola-bola kecil, media saya ini snowball, ya, ini dilemparkan.
Siapa yang kena?
Iya. Saya sudah mencoba mengadakan IKM di sekolah kita. Jadi ada model literasi. Jadi saya coba literasi saya ini literasi saya berikan literasi dan ini beberapa bagian. Nah, ada numerik di dalamnya, ya kan? Nah, di sini siswa yang bisa jadi saya secara acak akan melempar. Ternyata mereka lebih interaktif dengan cara pelemparan ini. Jadi bermain sambil game. Iya, karena mungkin dianggap memang ada yang ketawa, ada yang ini, tapi ada proses interaktif. Itu kan yang kita harapkan, tidak mengantuk di dalam kelas. Apalagi saya kan guru sejarah, jadi saya harus pandai mana metode-metode yang pas untuk mereka.
Jadi kesimpulan yang saya ambil adalah pembelajaran yang inovatif itu adalah pembelajaran yang melihat
semua situasi siswa.
Ya, melihat situasi siswa, pembelajaran apa, metode apa yang bisa kita gunakan sebagai guru untuk menertibkan kelas.
Iya, betul. Supaya siswa interaktif.
Ya, supaya siswa lebih interaktif. Kan masih ada ya. Saya kira cukup, Ibu.
Oke,
sudah. Ya, terima kasih atas waktunya, Ibu.
Sama-sama.
Demikianlah percakapan atau wawancara saya bersama Ibu Asmaul Husna, seorang guru sejarah. Semoga apa yang kita bahas hari ini bisa bermanfaat untuk kita semua, terutama untuk diri saya, dan bisa mengintegrasikan atau mewujudkan pembelajaran HOTS di kelas. Semoga saja ya. Amin. Terima kasih, Bu.